EASIT, Easy Access for Social Inclusion Training.
This is Unit 2, Easy to Understand Language, in short E2U, Element 1, Understanding Easy to Understand Language, Video Lecture, Modalities and Different Forms of Media Realization. My name is Lucinéa Marcelino from the University of Hildesheim. In this short video lecture, we will talk about the modalities and different forms of media realization of easy to understand. We will focus on easy language, including easy to read, as well as plain language. There are different definitions of the term modality. In this video lecture, the term modality refers to the sensory channels that are addressed through a specific content. For example, seeing, hearing, touch, etc. Thus, a multimodal text is a text that addresses at least two sensory channels, for example, audiovisual content, which has both audio and visual content. Easy language and plain language both have traditionally been used in written communication. The term easy to read already tells in itself that it focuses on written texts. This is not only true for the English-speaking world, but also for other languages, like for instance Swedish, where easy to read is called lättläst, which is Swedish for easy reading. And in Spanish, where easy to read is called lectura fácil, which is Spanish for easy reading. The rule sets for easy language and plain language are primarily made for written texts. And the current legislation focuses as well on written texts for easy and plain language. We will give more information on the rule sets and the international and national legislation in other video lectures in this unit. So easy language and plain language have mainly been used in written communication, and the content in easy and plain language has therefore mainly been made in printed form and in written digital formats. In both cases, the texts are an additional service that is supposed to help people that do not understand the original standard or expert language text. Texts in easy language or plain language should never replace the original texts. But it is not enough for accessibility and inclusion if only written texts in easy and plain language are produced. Actually, the target groups of easy to understand language tend not to have written texts as a preference. And a disproportional part of the easy language target groups is among the offliners and do not prefer the internet as a source for information seeking. As easy and plain language text offers are mostly additional offers, they are not placed in front row or on the entrance pages and are thus often not very retrievable. So the target groups may have a hard time finding the text offers, even though they are especially designed for them. Furthermore, focusing on just written formats excludes the possibility of implementing easy to understand language in other media realizations that could address other groups. Some of the target groups cannot be addressed through the visual channel, for instance, people with visual impairments. Hearing easy or plain language information could be their first choice. For all these reasons, in recent years, research and application in the field of easy to understand language has started looking into multimodal media realizations. Audiovisual formats are now being considered to implement easy to understand language. This is the primary purpose of the EASIT project. But there are already practical examples. For instance, the fairy tale project that the Research Center for Easy Language realized together with the North German Broadcasting Association. The fairy tales were translated into easy German and sign language. The project produced videos with sign language interpreters that were interpreting on the basis of easy German. There are drawings on the content of the fairy tales, subtitles in easy German, and an audio with a fairy tale narrator in easy German. This example explores multiple channels and implements easy language on more than one layer and modality. Easy to understand language is also practiced in interpreting scenarios. Interpretation into easy language is a practice that has been growing in recent years, especially in Germany. Meanwhile, research has started to look into this practice. The language variety used in such interpreting scenarios is mostly rather plain than easy language. Apparently, in spoken scenarios, in their enriched face-to-face situations, plain language fits the needs of the primary target groups. Easy or plain language interpreting is just another example. For the shifted focus, easy and plain language are used in different media realizations. The EASIT project proposes to apply easy-to-understand language for accessibility services, such as audio description or subtitling. It is also proposed to implement easy-to-understand language in audiovisual news. In research, there are first publications that systematically look into the possibilities of implementing easy-to-understand language in other formats of audiovisual translation and accessible communication. This video lecture has been prepared by Sergio Hernandez and Christiane Maas from the University of Hildesheim. You can reach us at easit@unihildesheim.de.
The project EASIT has received funding from the European Commission under the Erasmus Plus Strategic Partnerships for Higher Education Programme, Grant Agreement 2018-1 ES01 KA203 05275. The European Commission's support for the production of this publication does not constitute an endorsement of the contents, which reflect the views only of the authors, and the Commission cannot be held responsible for any use which may be made of the information contained therein. This work is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Share Alike 4.0 International License. Partners of the EASIT project: Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona, Università degli Studi di Trieste, Universidade de Vigo, Stiftung Universität Hildesheim, SDI München, Dyslexie-Verbundet, Radio Televizija Slovenija, Zavod RISA. EASIT, Easy Access for Social Inclusion Training.